Hello everyone, this is Katrinonus, and I just spooked poor Lassie. Katrinonus, and I just spooked poor Lassie. um, so this is gonna be a rather long video, and I'll briefly go over what I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna update you on what's been going on, update you on some things you may have noticed and what's happening in regards to those things, and then I'm just gonna go into a regular vlog. So, um, as you heard, I mentioned Lassie, our puppy, which means that boyfriend and I have moved out and we're living on our own again. Um, and I said that once this happened, I'd be starting to do videos again, which I am still starting to do videos again. I'm working on getting in a position where recording is easier, that kind of thing. Um, and I'm gonna start, if you noticed, I released a World of Goo episode, which you guys haven't seen for a long time. That's because I was trying to do the OCDs on it, and I may continue to try and do those, but those were looking like there's one particular level I cannot get past the OCDs for, and I've heard it's just kind of a luck thing. So, yeah, we'll see on that. Um, anyway, I'll be telling you some pretty hard stuff this video too. But I'm gonna start releasing videos at least because I'm gonna start recording videos, and the way I'm gonna be doing it now is, with the exception of first party Nintendo games, I'm gonna be recording everything that I'm playing. With the exception of first party Nintendo games and games I've already started. So if I've already started a game, I'm probably not recording it. Um, Games that are part of a series, like, for example, the one that I can think of off the top of my head is Sly Cooper. I may actually go back and record the first two games after I've played the third game, which is one I've never beaten. Um, as far as going back into how I normally play games, is I like to 100% games to the best of my ability. I may still continue to do that. I just don't know what the extent of that is going to be on camera and how far I'm going to take it. We'll just have to see. I haven't, a lot of things are kind of up in the air for me. Input is welcome, and a lot of things are up in the air. Um, Now, to kind of go, I've been recording some vlogs on and off. I just haven't been able to upload them, and I'll explain more about that uh, here in a little bit. But so I'm going to be starting fresh here. Um, the direction the channel's going in is going to be kind of new for me, and I can actually record most PC stuff now with relative ease. I just need to get a new headset because um, it's a little uncomfortable recording with the headset I've got on right now because it's actually broken. I accidentally stepped on it and broke it. So this one piece is dangling off, and the rest is kind of like shambled together. Like, I'm not actually listening to anything right now, and I don't know how it would be if I was playing any audio. I may attempt to record it some tonight, but I don't know. Um, Now to go into the vlog part of this, the situation has completely changed. Um, I'm not gonna go into any details about this, and I'm just gonna mention it. I'm gonna mention it briefly. I don't really want to talk about it. I don't really want to see it talked about in the comments. If you guys can refrain, please, that would be most grateful by me. Um, Leo and boyfriend and I. My boyfriend's name is Leo, but he likes to be called boyfriend. Um, we were in a situation where we were being verbally and emotionally abused by my parents while we were living with them. There were a lot of little things that went on that I don't really want to talk about. And like I said, I'm just going to mention it briefly. I wasn't able to mention this before. This was the thing I was alluding to that I couldn't really mention or talk about. And it's something that has apparently been going on for a long time in my life, and I wasn't even aware of it for most of the time. So, and it was hard because there were periods of time where they were very nice to me, and they still are. And I don't really know how to handle that. But we needed to get out of there, and that's why we're out of there now. Um, and I'm happy that we are in a much better situation and position. That's all I'm going to say on that. So I am happy to be starting the channel again. Like I said, I kind of want to play more of, or record more of everything I play so you guys can get a feel for what it's actually like for me playing stuff. Because a lot of times I've refrained from playing something because I haven't been recording or things like that. In particular, series coming up for that. Now, series that I have started, I do intend to finish. I really do. I just need to sit down and focus. And that's my problem, is I have a lot of trouble focusing. And we still have to get all the games out of storage. And I don't know. I have to recatalog where I was at, like in Tulip, for example. But I have to figure out what games were going on. For right now, I don't know how I'm going to be releasing videos. I'm probably just going to release them as they come up to get them out of the backlog. That because I'm like 7 pages back on my YouTube thing, something like that. So, yeah. But I may work on getting a bunch of videos ready to be scheduled for release and stuff like that. As far as we'll just go from the beginning of the year because I'm not going to release those vlogs that I did record because they're not really relevant now, and I just don't feel like it's necessary. So I'm gonna do, and the reason, let me say this real quick. There's a reason why I didn't play a game while I was doing this, because I am actually going to read off for you my completion list for the year, which as it stands right now, I have done 43 things this year. That is literally one thing for every single day this year. So we're going to go through what I did and I may be able to remember like specific events that happened around the time that I did X thing or Y thing. So let's see here. We're going to start and work backwards. So we're going to start with crafts. I've been taking up embroidery. I learned that sometime towards the end of last year how to embroider and had started working on that. And I've done some pillowcases where one says love you and the other one says love you more on it. I did those and I finished those January 30th. And I took a picture and I uploaded it to Imager. It's Imager under Katrinonus. And then I embroidered a clock that's got a butterfly on it. And if you wonder how that works, you basically can mount the embroidered image onto some clock pieces and stuff. And I did that February 8th, which is not too long ago. Um, so yeah. Next tab that I have is called narrations. I also restarted doing my Morbid Butterfly channel, which, if you don't know what that channel is basically horror narration videos. It used to be creepypastas, but now it's just kind of horror narrations videos. And they're going up every Wednesday right now, I think. Um, the first video is titled "Follow the Butterflies," and it was written by me, um, written, produced, directed, yeah, all that stuff. And it's up there right now. It was uploaded on February 1st, and then the 8th, the same day that I did finished the clock, I uploaded a video called Love Without Words, which is just a simple narration piece that of somebody else's writing. Then we go back to books. The book, I've read one book this year on the 21st of January. Um, it was the second book of the Dark Tower series by Stephen King. And I really enjoyed it. I've got the third and fourth books here, and my dad's already told me that I can borrow the last three books if I need to. I'm in the middle of reading Needful Things right now. I need to get back to reading on that. Since we moved in, things have been kind of hectic, and I haven't been able to do that. I think I'll talk a little bit more about since we moved in. Since we moved in, I've been trying to establish a routine. Routine has been immensely important because between my fibromyalgia and my chronic fatigue syndrome, it's been very hard for me to build up strength and work to better myself towards something. So, like, right now, my routine's really, really, really simple. The only major thing I do every day is I wash the dishes and I feed the cats and then I take care of myself. And then once a week, I do the Morbid Butterfly video. I wash laundry and put away laundry. And I fill up my medicines. So it's just been all about establishing routine, and it's kind of thrown off a lot of things that I had started doing. Like, I had just started recording at my parents' place when this all kind of right before this came in. So I haven't read anything, I haven't played any games, I've just kind of watched stuff and done crafty things. And that's really all I've done. I haven't really done much of anything else. And not because I don't want to, or because I can't. It's just I haven't done anything yet. So I'm still finding my footing. And I've heard that coming out of the situation that I came out of, that's very natural. So I'm not really worried about it. And next tab is video games. The 2nd of January, I beat a game called Totaled, which is basically this little game where you click around and you click around to eat things. And you have to eat them so they don't run into your little toad. And it gets ridiculous. It's kind of like Katamari in some ways, but not. It's really weird and it's adorable and it's crazy. Um, but I got all the achievements on that game and it was on Steam. Then I played a game called Sprouts Adventure that I finished on the 4th of January. And this is this little game where you like play the god of these little sprouts and you help them complete some projects and you manage their food and their sleep cycles and all this other stuff. And it was adorable and I loved it. I just loved it, okay? It was cute. And that was for the PC. Um, I got it off of Big Fish Games. So, there you go. Then, next on the 9th of January, I finished a game off of Steam called Voodoo Garden. And it's exactly what it says it is. And you are making potions for voodoo and even eventually voodoo dolls. And you have to grow certain things and gather certain materials in order to make these potions to make more money, to level up, and to progress further. You can even sacrifice animals to make into ghosts who help you collect your items. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. The last little bit of it for the achievements came a little grindy, but overall, I really enjoyed it. Um, then I played a game on Steam that I finished on the 12th of January called Sharf, and it was really weird and it was really short. I mean, it was literally about 10 minutes. And I don't think I really fully understood what was happening, so I'm not going to even bother to try and explain it. Then on the 29th of January, which would have been after I'd moved into the apartment, I played a game that I might end up playing again and recording because I haven't finished the sequel yet. Called Fiction Fixers Adventures in Wonderland. And it's basically this, like, you're part of this organization who observes libraries and stories and stuff, and someone starts to mess with the famous works of fiction and change what happens in them so that they're part of the illiterati, which I thought was clever. And so you go through Alice's adventure in Wonderland and you try to make events happen the way they're supposed to happen. And it's really cool and it's really cute and adorable, and I may do it. I may this may be a thing even though I just finished it less than 2 weeks ago. I might do it. Maybe. Now comes the long one. We're coming to my movies. I have watched 33 movies this year so far. And we'll just go from the beginning and keep going from there. So, the 1st of January, I watched a movie called Honeymoon, which was a Spanish movie. And it was about this guy who kidnaps this woman and tries to make her into his wife. It doesn't go well. Let's just go with it doesn't go well. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. The 2nd of January, I watched a movie called Siren, which was about they literally captured the siren and she's part of this gentleman's club, and she basically makes you live your greatest fantasies, and she imprints on this one dude and they end up setting her free, and she wants to take him as her mate. And it's really cool. It was a really nice horror movie. I enjoyed it. Then also on the 2nd of January, I watched The Orphanage, or El Orfortunato, which is a Spanish, I was going to say Japanese, Spanish movie. And it's one of my favorite movies. I could watch that movie once a week and not get bored of it. I really enjoy that movie a lot. And it's about this woman, her son goes missing, and she goes on this big long quest to try and find him. On the 3rd, oh, I'm going to have to keep like an icon because I'm not going to be able to keep up with this. The 3rd of January, boyfriend and I watched Suicide Squad again, which I still enjoy that movie. I don't know why other people hate on it. Like it's a pretty okay movie. And I guess for me coming from a non comic book or very limited comic book background, I guess that might make a difference. So maybe that's the difference. I don't know. Then on the 5th of January, I watched Ju-on 2, which is the Japanese version of The Grudge. And it's a weird movie. There's a lot of really iconic things from Ju-on 2, but it's a weird movie. uh, I'm just gonna leave it there because I'm not gonna even try and describe it. Then on the 6th of January, I watched The Grudge 2 and 3, the American ones. The Grudge 2 was actually better than I remembered it being. I actually thoroughly enjoyed watching it, which was a shock and surprise to me. And then the third Grudge movie I've always liked. It has this like soft spot in my heart. And I don't know why. But yeah. So there you go. On the 7th of January, I watched Ju-on White Ghost and Black Ghost. White Ghost is probably, I think, my more favorite one. Ju-on White Ghost and Black Ghost are about two different Ju-ons or curses or grudges. It's not about Kayako and Toshio. It's about different ghosts. Also on the 7th of January, I watched Ju-on the Final Curse, which is okay. So there's the Japanese movies, which is a set of four, the two TV specials, and Ju-on 1 and 2. There's the American versions, and then there's the Japanese reboot of the Japanese version. And this Final Curse is the second movie in that Japanese reboot of the Japanese version. And it's a little weird. It's focused more on Toshio as a ghost than Kayako. And it's just weird. I don't know any other way to describe it other than weird. And still on the 7th of January, I watched a movie called Autopsy, which was really simple but fun. It was these group of teens, they have a crash and they end up at this hospital, but things are really weird. It was really good. Then Slaughter, I watched on the 8th of January, and it was a really good film. It was about this girl ends up on this farm where a bunch of murders happens and ends up becoming friends with the daughter on the farm. And then I watched also on the 8th of January a film called The Broken, which was really boring. It was about mirror people. It was really boring. Then on the 8th of January as well, I watched Perkins 14, which was an interesting concept. The execution, however, was not that interesting. Then on the 10th of January, I watched Sadako versus Kayako, which is The Ring versus The Grudge. And that was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be really boring and really, I don't know. I just didn't think it was going to be that well. Then on the 12th of January, I watched a movie called The Creepy Doll with Clara. And I now so Resident Evil 7 came out recently and I watched a couple playthroughs of it. And they have this song on there called Go Tell Aunt Rhody, Go Tell Aunt Rhody. Well, the thing is, The Creepy Doll is a really terrible horror movie. So terrible, it's hilarious. And it uses that song as well. So Resident Evil 7 got ruined for me by this movie because I can't quit laughing at it because it's hilarious. Oh man. So, yeah, that's a thing. Okay. So, the 16th of January, I watched a movie called Voices, which is some sort of Asian movie. And I don't know that I really understood what was going on. So, yeah, I'm not going to even go there. 16th, as well as on the 16th of January, there's a lot of movies on the 16th of January, apparently. I watched a movie called Dying Breed, which was about these people going on the hunt for the Tasmanian devil, but or the Tasmanian tiger, and the people in the surrounding area are weird. Also, on the 16th of January, I watched a movie called From Within that was really good. It was about a pagan curse taking hold of a town where they would be forced to confront their inner selves and try to resist their inner selves, but found it impossible to resist their inner selves. It's really interesting. The 16th of January, I watched Cabin in the Woods, which is a great film. Just fantastic. The 17th of January, I watched Saw, which was a lot better than I was thinking it was because I hadn't seen it in several years and I was like, oh. So I didn't even remember all the twists and turns and I was like, oh, the reveal for this is actually quite great. On the 18th of January, I watched Daddy Daycare. Now, before you guys laugh, I was at the hospital in the time that I watched this, so I didn't actually get to pick the movie, it just was on. The 31st of January, I watched a movie called The Boy, which was about this lady comes to take care of this boy, and it turns out the boy's just a doll. And that one turned out a lot differently than I thought it was going to. On the 1st of February, I watched Puppet Master, which, again, weird movie. Not sure how to explain it, other than animated puppets coming to life and things like that. The second of February, I watched The Jungle Book, which was the new Jungle Book, which I found to be really good. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say other than that. The 4th of February, I watched Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, which is an older movie. It actually was one of my grandmother's in my movies that we used to watch, and I got it after she passed away. And it's basically about a young child star ends up, well, these two sisters, they're older, they both had fame at some point in their lives, and how that affects them. That's a simple explanation and probably not even one that makes sense. Also on the 4th of February, boyfriend and I went out and we went to the movies and we saw Split, which is an M. Night Shyamalan movie, and it's actually really good. I would recommend it to anybody who's a fan of thriller or horror genre. Then the 7th of February, I watched Orphan, which is about this little girl that ends up getting adopted, but she's really weird and lots of bad things start happening around her. I also watched Seven on the 7th of February, which is the What's in the Box movie. I enjoyed that. And then also on the 7th of February, I watched Copycat, which is about a copycat killer who starts copycatting famous serial killers. On the 9th of February, I watched Taking Lives, which is this killer literally assumes the lives of the people that he's killing. Then on the 10th of February, I watched Puppet Master 2, which again, this series is really weird. I don't know how to describe it other than puppets that are alive and bad shit happens. And the 11th of February, I watched Puppet Master 3. And I'm in the middle of watching Puppet Master 4. I'm probably going to finish that later tonight. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my completion list for the year so far. I still need to watch something today in order to still keep up my streak of having done something for every day of the year so far. Yeah, and like I said, I want to try to perpetuate recording the games that I'm playing for the most part. Like I said, unless it's third-party Nintendo or I've already started the game and it's not at an easy point where I can start it over. Yeah, so a bit of a longer update. I know at some points I must have sounded winded because this is actually tiring for me. I'm not used to talking so much, which is something I'm going to have to get used to when I start recording again, is talking while you guys are there. So, we'll see how that goes. Alrighty, well, I'm going to get off this for now, and I'm going to go on ahead and edit this together so I can upload this tonight, hopefully. Tonight is the 12th of February. So I hope that I get to hear some responses from you guys through comments, and I appreciate if you have managed to listen to this far. I know that this has probably been a jumbled mess. Thank you and goodbye.